was probably the most honest interaction I've ever had at Ulta. Oh, honey. Because I am impressed. I'm not gonna lie, I am impressed. And hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another beauty related video. Today, if you can't tell by the title, is our makeup rehab / beauty bank update. And guys, I am excited to talk about the things that I've bought, the things I've used up, and kind of see how I am doing points wise. I do these updates every quarter, so this information will be for everything purchased and used up in April, May, and June. Do we think we did well? Do we think I really maybe messed up? Do you think I have any numbers left? Well, let's dig in and find out. So I'm gonna go by each month, showing you first what I bought in the month, how many points that brings me down to, then what I use in the month, and add those points back in. If you want a very detailed information about how I am doing this, I will link my intro, hopefully above. If not, it'll be at the end of this video. For a very quick recap, the very basics of my rules are that I had a starting points of 24, and then anything I bought would count against me. Now, the things that weren't going to count against me that were purchased were necessity items. So if I was just replacing a shampoo, not trying a new one, I wasn't going to count that. But if I decided to try something new, then that would count against me. Gifts, so anything given to me, anything I purchased with a gift card that was given to me. If I ever get PR, that's not counting against these numbers. Free with purchase items are also not counting against, as well as anything bought with points. Then as I use things up, I gain some points. Some are worth 1 point, some are worth half a point. And then I also wanted to have 2 months throughout 2024 where I did no buys. I did my very first no buy in January, and then I left you guys last update saying that I was hoping to make April a no buy, and I completed that, which means that I had no points leaving my bank for April and spent no money in April for makeup. But I do have a few empties. Now, when I left you before, I was starting April with 24 points because the first quarter of this year I did excellent at my empties and not buying all that much. So starting April, 24 points. I do have 3 empties to show you. And yes, I have it all written down in my notebook here so I don't lose track of anything. The first empty to show you is the Pixie Makeup Fixing Mist. Now, I'm not going to give you full reviews of any of these empties. If you would like full reviews, there will be an empties video put up at some point during this month. Be sure to check that out. Once it is up, I will also try to have it linked at the end of this video if possible. If not, it'll be in my empties playlist. I'm just in this video going to say whether or not I would personally replace it. No other information about it than that. So the Pixie Makeup Fixing Spray, no. You'll have to come back to an empty to see why and if it would be different for you. Then I had 2 sample sizes. First was the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. No, I would not rebuy this. And lastly was another primer, this time from Ofra Cosmetics. This is the Ray of Lights primer. And again, no. But that does bring me up to 27 points going into May. So starting May with 27 points, I did make quite a few purchases. Now, I'm not going to show you everything I bought in May because I did an Ulta haul video. That will be linked below at the end of this video if you would like to see that, so that you can see every single item. I'm just going to quickly list off the items that were in those videos, and we're gonna go from there. I will show you the items that I bought in May that I didn't show you in that video though. So the things that you've already seen in a previous video were the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation, and then that came with an all-nighter spray sample. Then the second purchase, which I also showed you there, was also from Ulta, and that was the Clinique Face Toner #1, the NYX Professional Bling Gloss, the Essence Lip Liner in Rosy Nude, 2 of the Clean It Zero Balms, then the e.l.f. Halo Puff, the NYX Butter Melt Bronzer in Deserve Butter, the Kiss Falsies Lash Natural, those are the ones that you don't need any glue for apparently, a fan brush that I'm using for highlighter, 2 packs of the Kiss 2 packs of the Kiss 4th of July style nails, then my very first Charlotte Tilbury lip product, or actually my very first from that brand at all, and that one was a lip liner in the shade Pink Venus, then a Clinique 100-hour moisturizer as a free sample, and then finally the NYX Buttermelt blush in Had Butter. Now, all of those items is a lot, but I got 2 of those items as free with purchase items, and the rest with the exception of $4.20 was free because it was with points. So those don't count against my numbers. Otherwise I'd be in big trouble. I did have a few other purchases in May, which I will show you real quickly before telling you how many points I actually ended with. First is this chapstick from Poppy and Pout. This is the Sweet Mint. This is the most I think I've ever spent on a chapstick. And when I tell you I smelled the sample and knew I needed to try it because I love the scent so much. And then I put it on after buying it, and it was the best thing. It was the best chapstick I've ever had. My EOS chapsticks that I used to be obsessed with, I've kind of forgotten about, which sucks because I have a ton of them. This has been amazing for my lips. Feels great, smells great. There's only 1 or 2 other scents that really I liked a ton, but right now I'm just sticking with this. This one was $10 and was also purchased in May, and this was just purchased locally. I believe you could find it online, but also it's kind of one of those things that I'm seeing people talk about being found in like little hometown stores. Then I made 2 purchases from Sam's Club. I know, what makeup purchases could I possibly have from Sam's Club? Well, I bought the giant Neutrogena wipes pack. That's right, because not only is this such a good deal buying it like this, just normally, but it was also on a sale. So I got this whole pack for $15.98, and it comes with basically 125 of the wipes. This one, I know these are not great for your skin, but I use these when I'm doing swatches or when I need to clean up something real quick. I don't use these to take off my makeup or to clean my face. But I use them enough to where buying it in bulk is the way I have to go. Because that is 1 whole package, I only have to count 1 point for that one. Then, also from Sam's Club, they started carrying my Neutrogena Hydro Burst face cream. This is the water gel face cream. And I was so excited to see that they had it in a 3-pack for $44.48. Normally I'm seeing these between $20 and $26 in stores. So getting a 3-pack for basically $45, I had to do it. Now again, because it was sold as a 3-pack, I'm only counting 1 point against me. And I'm so happy I found that deal, and I hope they keep doing that, because this has been such an amazing product for my face. The grand total of money that I would have spent if I hadn't used points, if I didn't get all that stuff for free, would have been $261.65. But in actuality, I only spent $114.66 for everything I just mentioned. That is a ton. Now, points-wise, if most of those things weren't bought with points, I would be deducting 19 points today. But I don't have to. Instead, I'm only deducting 5. I think that that is amazing. So with our May points starting at 27, I am subtracting 5 from my purchases, bringing the points to 22. But guess what? I also had some empties for May. The first empty I had was the Studio Makeup Moisturizing Tinted Moisturizer. I believe I had mine in Fair, but it doesn't have a shade on it, so I don't know for sure. Yes, I would repurchase. The next product I had is the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. This one is an older version. I don't know if it's still the same formula or not. Maybe I would repurchase, unsure. Then I had a Neutrogena Hydro Burst Water Gel, a whole full pack here. Yes, 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 100% repurchase. And last but certainly not least, if you have been around my channel, you have seen this product several times, the KAB Beauty Lip Oil in Lemon. Yes, 1000% yes. So that is a positive 4 points, bringing me back up to 26 points. Either we're doing really, really good, or I gave myself too much leeway in this project, and I might need to adjust things for next year. But let's move in to June, starting June with those 26 points. What did I buy? So June ended up being a month where I bought things here and there. Nothing big, but just across the whole month, I bought a few things. The first thing I bought was actually something that I needed for an event that I was going to. I went ahead and bought the Heritage Fry No More Heat Protectant Mist because I was needing to style my hair for an event and I didn't have any heat protectant. I went to Walmart. No other brand had a heat protectant in stock. This was the only one I found. They had two different versions. They had this mist and then they had, I believe it was a spray. So I went ahead and I grabbed this one, never using anything from this brand before. And honestly, I don't think I've seen anything on this brand before. So I don't know if it's a good brand. I don't know if it's a healthy brand. I don't know anything, but it's what I bought. It was $8.94 from Walmart. Then I picked up the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Silk Milk Light Foundation. Yeah. Nourishing foundation in the shade Light, which is 540, which is one of the darker shades I wear from them. Earlier in the year, I ended up decluttering 3 of these from my collection, not because I didn't like them, but because I had them for so long that I needed to part with them because they were really not safe for my skin anymore. But I had them since, I think, launch day, which has been a while. So, they were mostly used up and just old. So I said when I decluttered those that I would be repurchasing that when I need that again. And it is that time of year where I wear very little to no foundation. So it was time to pick this up. And so I picked it up in what my summer shade typically is. I haven't had a chance to really use it yet. So we'll see if I am still this. But this was also at Walmart. And this was for $10.28. And then another Walmart purchase on that same day is another CoverGirl Outlast in Plum Berry. I have one of these in a reddish color, and I really wanted to try a purple color, so I went ahead and picked this one up as well. This one was $8.98. Then I went to Ulta 2 times in June. One at the beginning of June and one at the end of June, not realizing that this was going to count against June, thinking it was going to count against July because my brain was elsewhere, but they are both from June. So first I went in looking very specifically for foundation brushes to use with that Urban Decay Face Bond foundation. And as you can see, these are not opened. These have not been used yet. Hopefully I'll get to it soon. But I am trying to make that foundation work for me. And so far, yeah. So the first one is from e.l.f. This was a $7 brush. This is just their ultimate blending brush. The number up the top is 84034. Yeah, just $7. This is what I was going in looking for, was $7 to $15 maximum. But instead, the second brush I bought was the It Brushes for Ulta brush. This is, let's see, what number is this? It's the Oh My God OMG Foundation number 106. This was $26. I was not going to buy this. In fact, I walked around the store for 30 minutes really looking at nothing as I considered whether or not I was going to buy this. And ultimately, obviously I did. So it better work. It better work for something. Then my next time I went to Ulta, I went in looking specifically for tinted moisturizers. And I came out with not a single tinted moisturizer. That's right. That's right. Instead, I came away with more questions about tinted moisturizers, more research that I needed to have done, and came away with one thing that I had been looking at getting for a while, and one thing that was nowhere on my radar. The first thing that I grabbed was the Verb Ghost Oil. I had been looking for an oil for my hair for a little while, but I just, for whatever reason, wasn't willing to take the plunge, wasn't really feeling like I had enough of a grasp on what I was looking for to really make a purchase. But I was in the store and I have been recently seeing more and more about the Verb brand, and this was $20, and while I was hoping to spend closer to $15, I felt like $20 for the amount that's in here and for how little you're supposed to use, maybe it wasn't going to be that bad of a deal. So I went ahead and picked this one up. This one says it's a shine and smooth frizz and weightless hair oil. I don't have much to tell you about this because I haven't used it yet. I'm scared to use it, which is so silly because I bought it. I don't know. We'll see. I guess I'm scared that it's going to make my hair very oily, which it shouldn't, right? It should just help with the frizz. We'll just have to see. Well, we'll have to see. But this is the purchase that I was okay with making and that had been on my radar for a while and finally took the plunge. Now, the thing that was nowhere on my radar, when I say nowhere, I mean nowhere. This brand I have never bought from before. I recently have been seeing something and I wanted to look at that product, but I was not planning on purchasing that product this day. So basically the brand is Polite Society. Polite Society is a brand that I have not heard much about until recently with their powders. So I knew I wanted to look at their powders, but I knew I wasn't going to be purchasing one that day. But while I was looking at the powders, one of the employees came over to me and started saying how much she loves the Polite Society powders, how amazing they are on her skin, how they just do amazing oil control, and she couldn't live without it. I am not an oily skinned girl. I am a dry skin, maybe combination on a good day, okay? So when she said that, I asked her straight up, I was like, okay, so would you buy this if you had dry skin? And her answer, without even stumbling, without giving a second thought, was like, no, don't buy that. Do not buy that. You will be returning it. You will hate it. It will not do good for your skin if you have dry skin. Even if you have combination skin, she said she doesn't really recommend it. And so I said, thank you. And I stopped looking at it altogether. And I will have to do some more research because I thought I saw a creator on here showing it on her dry skin. Maybe I was wrong. I'm going to have to do some research before I go back to that. But that interaction was probably the most honest interaction I've ever had at Ulta. And so I am very grateful to that person. Very, very grateful. Now, she realized in doing that she had just lost Ulta a sale. But she tried to save it. She then tells me a couple different powders that she would recommend, but she really was encouraging not maybe doing powders for dry skin, which I get. I understand that completely. But then she was like, since you're here at Polite Society, have you tried their lip plumpers? They are amazing. I live for them. I love them. Oh, honey, she doesn't know that I don't do lip plumpers at all. I can't stand the sting. So I just straight up asked her, is it a pretty bad sting? She goes, yeah, but I mean, it's worth it. I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it? And she goes, it's probably like a 7 or 8. I said, honey, I don't do past 1. If you said 2 or 3, I might have bought that. Might, because it did have cute shades. She's like, oh, yeah, then I wouldn't buy that anyways. So she was feeling a little bit defeated, but I thanked her and said, thank you, I will continue to check out this brand. And she walked away, probably feeling like, crap, I just talked this person out of buying 2 things. But while I was looking at the Polite Society stuff, sorry for that tangent of a story, it was connected. I saw what looked like lip balms or like lipstick pots, but there was only 6 shades. So I was like, wait, what is that? And it ended up being a blush. So I went ahead and picked up, because this looked so interesting and I swatched it and it looked beautiful. I love the way it dried down. So I picked up their Polite Pops Powder Blush Stick. I have, to my knowledge, in my memory, I do not think I have ever seen this talked about. Maybe in like a group of things and I just missed it. I don't know, but I feel like I would remember this packaging because it is adorable. Like, I don't typically gravitate towards like things that are like a lighter pink or any pink at all. Hopefully it is showing this beautiful shade on here. But yeah, I was thinking it was like a little lip balm or something, but no, it is a blush that, and I got mine in the shade Palm Springs. So it is this blush in this pot that goes on kind of creamy feeling, but goes down and blends like a powder. And like the shade was just a perfect shade for me. Like I swatched actually 4 of the 6 shades I think there were. And there was one other shade that I was like, I've wanted to try that type of shade for a long time, but I'm not willing to pay full price to try it and hate it because I won't return things unless I absolutely have to. But then when I swatched this one, it was so perfect, so pretty. I love orangey shades and peachy shades, and especially if it is one that I can either build up or blend down to be not too much for my face, because let's be honest, orangey shades are a little hard to work with when you have lighter skin, but I love them. Absolutely love them. So when I saw this and when I swatched it on my hand and it blended so beautifully, I had to get this. I just had to get this. So by that employee keeping me in that section, talking about some of the products a little bit longer, she actually ended up helping me. She actually ended up making it so that I bought something from that section, and I was not going to that day. So this was $28, and I'll just give you a quick little swatch. I just rubbed it on my hand real quick. That is what it looks like just straight up from there. And then you can build it up, or you can, you know, rub it out a little bit. And it is beautiful. Hopefully that is picking up, because I can't see that it is. But I'm going to continue to play with this and continue to see what I like. Hopefully I don't find anything that I dislike, but it's gorgeous and it can build up so well. And then I will come back to you guys and talk about this product, hopefully in another video soon, because I am impressed. I'm not gonna lie, I am impressed, and it's such a cute packaging. So I'm very glad for this impromptu purchase. Okay, so those are the only purchases I made in June, bringing my spending total for June to $100.22. And that means that I have to deduct 7 points from my total points because I purchased 7 products straight up, no points, no gift cards, no nothing. So we started June with 26 points, subtracting 7, bringing me to 19 points. But guess what? I had a few empties in June. I think this year has been amazing for empties for me. I'm not gonna lie. Normally I am lucky to have 1 empty a month. Okay, this year I have been working through my stuff. So the first empties I have is the Bodyography Pro Makeup Brush Cleanser. No, I would not personally rebuy this again. Then I have the Pharmacy Daily Greens. This is an oily-free gel moisturizer. Yes, I would absolutely rebuy this again, but definitely come back to my Empties video to see my thoughts on whether or not you should. And then lastly, I do have a sample size empty, and this is the Clinique 100-hour sample that I received for free in the last month. Maybe. I don't know if I will, and I don't know if you should. Come back for more thoughts on that. So that gives me a positive 3 points, bringing my total of points going into the third quarter to 22 points. I think we're doing really good. Maybe I've been too easy on myself, but this was my first year doing this and I wanted to not fail. I wanted a little bit of a challenge though. So I think maybe next year I will rework this a little bit. But before we finish this video, I did want to point something out because I am making mid-year rule changes. Not too many, just 2, but very quickly. In the very beginning of this, I said that I could only purchase 8 lip products. And in February, I purchased 1. In May, we saw I purchased 4. And then in June, I purchased another 1, bringing the total that I have purchased to 6 so far, meaning I only have 2 slots left for lip products. Now, I didn't clarify at the beginning of this year if lip products that were free or bought with purchases would count against me in this. So that's why those in May are all marked off. But going forward, since it is mid-year, I am going to clarify that lip products bought with free points, gift cards, PR, anything like that, anything that doesn't count for any of the other purchases will also not count against me in the check marks. Now, because I just used up all my Ulta points, probably means at most this might save me 1. This might give me an additional 1. I don't think that at this mid-year point, this is really gonna help. If I had clarified that in the very beginning, this would help a lot because I would have 4, 5, 6 available to purchase instead of just 2. So that is the first of the updates. The next update has to do with sample sizes. So sample sizes don't count against me in my points because they're normally free. In fact, they're always free. I will not buy a sample size. It's not going to happen. So they don't count against me, but yet I am getting points when I use them up. Now, I don't think I should take away the full point when I use it up because if I do take away all points, I might not use it as quickly as I would other things that are going to give me points. So instead, I'm going to move these to only worth half a point going forward. So this one for June did count as a full point, but going forward, sample sizes will only be half a point. So that is our update. Who wants to know how much I spent total for this quarter? So my total purchases spent this quarter is $214.88. I do think that that was less than the previous quarter, but it would have been more than the previous quarter if I hadn't had all of those points. But then again, I probably wouldn't have bought all those things. I saved up and used my Ulta points to bring it to only this $214.88 while getting things that I needed and wanted. If you are enjoying this project and you want to see more from it, I will have my previous videos on this linked below or at the end of the video. You know, it's somewhere. It's also all on my channel. And until my next update, I hope you will continue to watch my next videos coming out. I will do this update again at the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, somewhere around that time frame. But I have an Empties video coming in the next couple weeks. I have some makeup looks coming. I've just got a lot of videos coming out this month. So be sure you are subscribed so you do not miss any of them, and hit this thumbs up if you like this type of content. Also, if you have any ideas on how I should change up this project for next year, leave me a comment below because I am currently working through how I want to structure this next year, because I do want to do it, but I do think I need a little bit better of a challenge. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It means the world to me, and I appreciate you so, so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Now, here's some other videos you can check out on my channel. Bye-bye.